fuck? If that is a doorway back through time, could we somehow take Bones back a day in time, then
relive the accident? This time be certain that the hypo-accident is avoided. Look at the speed with which the centuries are passing, Captain.
Since before your sun burned hot in space, and before your race was born, I have awaited a question. I am the guardian of forever. I am both, and neither. I am my own beginning, my own ending. My answer is simply as your level of understanding makes possible. Behold. I am the guardian of forever.
Hello folks, this is Mike McCreel getting back to you on a new build of mine. Today I'm going to show you a diorama that I'm making. I'm making two in tandem at the same time. One for a friend of mine, George, and one for myself. Of course I'm also building an Invaders model again in a 10-inch size for another customer, Matt. But what I'm doing at this time is just finishing the electronics on the diorama for the City on the Edge of Forever. It's the main movie of Star Trek, the main episode everybody seems to like, including myself. And what I wanted to show you is the diorama today. So I just going to grab the camera and I will turn it around and show you what I've got going. Basically, this is a backdrop made of foam that I've painted. Just finishing putting the sparkle on it. I'll just pull this off here. So basically what that is, it's just a nice piece of foam. It's kind of like the fish tank foam, and it wasn't the right color, so I've darkened it and added a little browns and blacks to give it a nice color. And this is the diorama for the model right here. It's bald right now. As you can see, there are some coins on the base, and that is going to be for the figures and the superstructure that goes on the top. So basically, in the back here, I got the little nails coming up and support brackets, and they hold this up. So this basically just kind of sticks in there and secure. Kind of nice that way. And here is the City on the Edge of Forever model. This is a cast version. I had a fellow make me one out of a 3D, and I wanted to make one out of a clear resin. So as you can see, it is gluing, and if you look on the bottom here, you can see all these tubes. Now what these tubes are is for smoke to be blown up inside, and then of course the Guardian will rain down some smoke to give it a really cool effect like in the show. Now this is completely lit, and I'll show you some pictures later on what it looks like when I was building it. But it's all sealed up now, and it took quite a while to get all the lights in there, but there's two different types of lights. There's a warm white, which is the paused light when the Guardian's sitting there, it's not talking, and then the cool white that flashes. Now, I had to make this cannon, so what happens is that this whole area here and all the way around here and stops about here has its own pattern, own flash, and then this section up here is a little bit different delay on the voice. So I made that cannon for the voice, and it's nicely lit. Now I will be doing a test later, but what I'm going to do now is I can show you a couple things. I just carved this one out. This is the top section of the superstructure of the ruins. I made this out of balsa wood, and as you can see that there is Canadian dimes in there, and the reason why is because I wanted to make it go together with magnets. So this is the scale size pillar, and then basically it just will stick right on there. Pretty nice. So basically, when George wants to set it up, he puts the pillars in place, and voila, it's done. So it's going to be all sand here, nicely done, and the Guardian's going to sit right in here. So the superstructure is higher than the Guardian, a little higher. I'm going to sit on an angle there, and this is the smoke machine that's underneath the base and feeds the smoke to the Guardian. And this is a control box, and turns it on. It's the main, so you get a red light. And this is the Guardian itself. It's a blue light. When you hit this button, it's a white light that controls the smoke, and a fan that blows the smoke up inside here and then rains down inside the hole there. And then these are rock lights. So as you can see, the blue lights will shine against the back structure. I'm just going to shut the camera off and flip this over for you. Okay, so basically here it is. This is the box. It's got all the wiring in there. It's pretty packed. This is a dimmer switch for the Guardian when it just sits there and it's not talking. There are two sound cards in there, one for the Guardian and one for Shatner and Nimoy's voices, so you can interact with the Guardian sounds. See, so what it does is when the Guardian actually talks, and there's a 10-watt speaker here with a 50-watt power booster, which gives you a really, really good sound. And this microphone will pick up the sounds from the speaker and flash the Guardian through this circuit here. And I can adjust the sensitivity of the Guardian itself and the sensitivity on these two nodes on the upper and lower section Guardian. This was a third section, but because I want to make it canon, I didn't want to have a third flashing light in there. So there's only two sections. So this is a really nice flashing unit. It's 12 volts, and that's the amplifier for the microphone, which comes all the way around and goes up into there. And what you probably just noticed there is this fish tank thing. This is picked this up in Germany. It's plastic, and this is a smoker device with a 5-volt fan, and that creates smoke and blows two pipes into this, and the Guardian tubes are connected on here, and it flows into the Guardian. So if I want to create less smoke, I can turn these knobs. So less smoke, if too much smoke is coming out of one hole, I can turn the knobs and slow it down. But if the smoke is too thick, I can use this, which is the transformer that powers the smoke unit, 12 volt, creating 6 volt out, and you can turn that little screw to lower the voltage that the spring heats up inside there and creates smoke. So the lower voltage, the finer the smoke, the higher the voltage, the thicker the smoke. So I can do that. And how fast it comes out. Of course, I can lower the voltage on this, which is controlled over here by this here, which is a 5 volt unit set for 5 volts. I can make it go up to 7 or 12, but this fan itself is only 5, but I can push 7 volts in it and it creates more wind blowing out more smoke. So this is a pretty neat little setup I did. It took me a while to do this. That's a 12 volt fan that cools these areas here. You can't generate enough power just on the cube tab that plugs the unit. This is 12 volts. But it needs its own source to power that. So if that ever burns out for my customer George, I have a second one, and he can unscrew this here and the one in there, and just pops right out. And then you unplug this. This is the plug for the smoke unit, and then there's another plug right here, you can see, for the fan. So it's super easy. Just pop in, pop out. And of course these tubes will have to be connected underneath. Now this is upside down, the whole thing. That's a power source, 3.7 volts. That's for the Guardian. That you can just keep the thing on, and it goes back to this dimmer switch here. And as you can see, all the straws, and that's where all the wires go to keep everything nice and neat. This speaker here is just for Kirk and Spock's voices, and you can control the volume on that through this. Now I wanted a different speaker because it's a smaller speaker, and I wanted it on a separate sound card, so when the Guardian speaks on this speaker, the sound will pick up from this microphone and trigger the flashing. So by having this farther away from this speaker, I can control the flash mode. So you don't want the Guardian to flash when the characters are talking, only when the Guardian speaks. This is the batteries chamber, clean power for the sound cards. So that's it for the base, and I will do a video on a test on the next video, so you'll be able to see the Guardian start to we have rocks, nice rocks that I've done. It's a one-sided rock, and then I flipped it and joined another side of the rock. So you have three-dimensional rock for the diorama. You place on that, just sits there. That's for the other diorama. And I got all kinds of podiums and broken pillars, broken superstructures, just like in the show. Rocks, they all have to be set up cannon-like. Little stones, they'll all be set up accordingly to look nice. What else we got? I got a little superstructure here, just a little piece that goes on a single podium, and then I got one of those small podiums. One of these guys, he goes up on a podium as well. This is a heavier one. This is made of resin. So the light ones are either balsa wood or a light, feather light resin. Now, of course, the men, I'm painting these now. This is a guard. There was a couple guards that were on the city edge of it forever, and then got a magnet, and he just can stick right there. And that'll go right through the sand. It's pretty strong. goes right there. Just about done. Just needs a little more detail in the eyes. I molded that, created that from a Hallmark mold to the right scale. And then we got Ahura. I just finished painting, and she's pretty nice looking. Some of the paint was off on some of these figures, so I changed the color of the her shirt and her legs and her boots, and of course that she'll sit probably back here. But see how nice that just sticks there. Well, yeah, that's a dime. It's a magnet there, and then there's a nickel. Not a dime, but a nickel. And boop, just like that. Sticks on there. And what do we got? We got Spock. Oh, we got Spock. Spock looks pretty good. That's the Spock for George here. Looks pretty nice. Detail in his tricorder. And he will probably go right here. See, so there's always a place to put him. Pretty strong. It's going to be nice. Scale is right. So you can see scale is correct, and that's probably important. You can see here. They jump through. They bend a little bit when they go through, but it's good. Kind of happy with that. This is my resin one. And I'm just finishing the one over here for George. It's all taped up. But that's it for now. And that is my Invaders for Matt. I've just finished the legs. And they're all glued in position. And got to sand that out a little more and give it a coating of primer. And then we have the Invaders Saucer, and I'm just doing a control room. Of course, it's blue in there, like the show. We've got a little TV screen back here, and some little holes that will be for blinking lights. Proper size window. That's going to be good. So that's a short video for today, and next video you will see some more building done on the Guardian.